Good afternoon, everyone. Shreyas, am I audible to you? Am I audible?
Yes, Ame, you are audible.
Okay, yes. So a very good afternoon to everyone. I am Professor Ame Tilve, ECL coordinator from Department of Computer Engineering. Welcome you all for the ECL installation 2020 and a very beautiful My Story session with our alumni entrepreneurs. I also take this opportunity to welcome our principal, Dr. Nina Parandika, our TPO and ECL head, Professor Avila Naik, all faculty, coordinators and members of ECL, and my dear students. First of all, I would like to welcome all our first year students who have joined this ECL with an interest to do something of themselves. And we have examples of the same coming up for you all in this session. This is the first event we are doing under ECL for year 2020-2021. This will be lined up with many other events, and you will be starting with your audit course, that is entrepreneurship idea to startup, which will take you in depth of what is entrepreneurship and the details. To start with this installation, I request Principal Dr. Nina Pandikal to say a few words. So, ma'am has already recorded it. I request Shreyas to kindly just put the principal's message.
Warm welcome to one and all to the inaugural of ECL here at DBC. I'm very happy and indeed very proud that today our alumni, young budding entrepreneurs are here with us who are going to share their success stories with us. Mr. Shwetang Nadkarni, founder Threads and Risers Construction, Mr. Deepak Kolur, K2 Engineering, Mr. Rakib Sarmadi, founder Carbon E, and Mr. Anu Kotamikar, founder Secure System Technologies Private Limited. We all at DBC are very proud of you. Well, this ECell has been established to foster and provide guidance to those who want to become future entrepreneurs. We have enthusiastic ECell faculty team comprising of Professor Satyesh, Professor Manjunath, Professor Matilda, Professor Ame Tilve, our Training and Placement Officer, Professor Avila, and Dr. Shreyas, who organize EAC's Business Idea Competition, POC, awareness on IPR session, and such other activities that will benefit the ECL members. And also to mention that this year we are going to start an audit course, and that would be for the first year students, for those who want to become future entrepreneurs. The curriculum is designed such that it will help them to understand various concepts, which includes ideation, market strategy, IPR, and many more such topics, which would be of their interest to become future entrepreneurs. So this is the great initiative that has been taken from this year, and this curriculum will be for till the third year of engineering. And I also want to mention that these students who are part of ECEL, they would get an opportunity to, discuss with the successful entrepreneurs of the state. They would mentor them and also handhold them in the activities that they would plan. So I'm very happy to know that there are about 63 students who have enrolled under this ECEL, and my hearty congratulations to them. And my best wishes to the entire ECEL team. Thank you. God bless.
Yeah. So thank you, ma'am. Thank you always for supporting us in whatever we do. Now we will go to the next section where we will introduce you to to all the faculty coordinators and one student coordinator from each department, so that if you have any difficulties later, you can approach student coordinator of the respective department, and then in turn they can report it to the faculty coordinators. Okay, so I will call out the name of the department faculty coordinator and the student coordinator. Okay, so they can just unmute their mic, okay, and they can show their face. Okay, put on the camera and unmute the mic, so that the students from the respective department know it. Okay, so let me call. First, we'll start with civil department. Now, faculty in charge for ECEL in civil department is Professor Satyesh Kakodkar.
Hi.
And the student in charge is Raylan Palmira. Student in charge is Raylan Palmira. Yeah. So we have Satish sir and Raylan over here. So civil department students can just, if you have any queries, you can go through Raylan, which in turn will go to Satish sir.
I think Raylan, his camera is off. Video is
no,
on.
no, sir. No, sir. He is on now. We can see.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes. Now we will go to mechanical department. So the professor in charge of mechanical department is Professor Manjunath Narvate, and the student in charge is Aditya Lotlikar. So Manjunath is here. Aditya, if you can come, if you can put on the video.
Hello everyone, good afternoon. And it is indeed a very good news that we have around 63 ECEL students this year. And from mechanical also we have many students. The mechanical coordinator Aditya, can you just put on your camera?
Yeah, he's there, Manjunath, he's there.
Okay.
Yeah. So next we move on to ETC department, Professor Matilda and student coordinator Rutvik Waze. Matilda is here. Rutvik, if you can put on your video. Yes, Rutvik is also here. So we have Matilda and Rutvik, faculty coordinator and student coordinator. Thank you, Matilda and Rutvik. Then moving to computer department, myself, Professor Ame is the faculty in charge, and student Jason Rodriguez. So if Jason can come online. Yes, Jason is here. Okay. Hi, Jason. I'm meeting you for the first time. Yeah. So Jason will be the student coordinator, and myself will be the department faculty coordinator. So I'll just tell you, thank you, Jason. I will just tell you the count of the students. Civil department has altogether 10 students. Then we have mechanical department with 16 students, ETC department with 8 students, and computer department with 25 students. Okay. So we have good number with us as students for this particular ECEL. So this was all about a quick installation of ECEL. Now let us move towards the main section, My Story event, okay, in which we have our own 4 alumni from different departments. Okay, so we'll have a quick chat with them, so that you all understand how they have come up with the different ideas and different things. Okay. So I would request, first we will start with ETC department. Why I'm starting with ETC department, we have with us Mr. Rakib Sarmadi. Okay. So I'll just quickly read out So Rakib is a BE Electronics and Telecommunication pass out from Don Bosco College of Engineering 2016. He is a co-founder and managing partner of Carbon E. He has an MBA in Marketing and Analytics in 2019 from ICFAI Business School, IBS, Bangalore. He has worked for Philips in ultrasound healthcare department as a management sales trainee in Gurugram and Andhra Pradesh. On 1st of June 2020, they founded Carbon E firm with Mr. Sujay Shirodkar. So they have different services which are provided: web development, app development, mechanical machine designing, prototyping, manufacturing, and electronic circuit designing. Okay, so we don't have Rakib with us live today because he's traveling to Hyderabad. So he has recorded a small video for us, and he has try to answer maximum question which a budding entrepreneur can have. So I request Professor Shreyas to kindly share the screen and put on the video. So here we have with us Rakib Sarmadi from ETC department. Shreyas, if you can share the video of Rakib.
Sorry for that. There's a drop in my connection. Just hold on.
Yes, sure.
Hi all, good afternoon. Myself Rakib Sarmadi and I am the co-founder and managing director at Carbony. First of all, I would like to thank the coordinators of eCell who invited me for the installation ceremony of eCell. And secondly, I would like to congratulate all the coordinators and members of the eCell because I feel it's a great initiative taken by the college, Don Bosco College of Engineering, where I personally feel it's a need of an hour where students should know what are the advantages of becoming an entrepreneur and why should they become an entrepreneur and how they can go forward if they have a really good ideas with them. So going forward, I would not take your much time and I will not bore you. I will try not to bore you. So directly I'll go up with to share my experience, like how I become an entrepreneur or how I started my business. I was like pretty sure that I am not made for an engineering job. So it's not my cup of tea. Again, I'll say because at every time I said why I took engineering. Why? Because starting in second year I used to feel, but at the end by the end of the engineering I said okay good, I enjoyed engineering a lot with my friends, so it's fine, good. But at that moment I felt no, I'll not take engineering job because it will be boring for me because I'm not a person who can sit at one place and do a job from 9 to 5. I was pretty sure at that moment of time, no, I don't want to do. So the next option I tried. So I felt MBA will be a good option for me because I like to interact with people. So I felt doing an MBA in marketing will be a great option. So I took an admission in IBS Bangalore marketing stream, and I did my MBA there. I finished, and those 2 years I liked because that were the thing that it was like it suited my thoughts and my personality where I felt yeah, this is something that I want to do in life. So I did. I got placed in Philips after the MBA, and I did nine months of job in Philips. I used to get a good salary as well. I used to like the job. That's not a problem. But at the same time, I felt I'm working for Philips. I was for 6 months I was in Gurgaon, and then for 2 months I was in Andhra. So my performance was also good, and yeah, I was able to achieve my targets and everything. Sometimes I was not able to achieve my targets, so that's fine. But But that's what the main problem comes into. So whenever you achieve your targets, your manager is happy, they appreciate you, and it's fine. But when you are not able to achieve that targets or something like that, so the amount of pressurize your managers will do, and so it was like, why you are here. So I used to see everyone come at 9 o'clock, do their job, and go back home at 5 o'clock. That's for staying safe. But actually, we have to work till 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock at night, from 9 to 9. So it's like a very hectic it was, and fine. You used to you get, but I said everyone is doing no. Everyone is doing the same thing. You're also doing the same thing. I said no. I want to do something different and something for the people I want to do at the same time. So I just directly called my co-founder, Mr. Sujay Shirodkar. So he was a senior to me during engineering. So he did his mechanical from Don Bosco 1 year. So he was from first year batch and I was from second year batch. So during the college time, we were good friends, and we also represented the DBC Incubation Center for the Asian Ministerial Conference on Disaster Risk Reduction at New Delhi in 2016. So me, Sujay, and one more of our friend Myron, we three of us had gone. We represented the college incubation center. So at that moment of time, we decided, yeah, some moment of time we'll start with our own startup, and we'll have our own company, this that. So I just called Sujay, where are you? Like not where are you? Basically, what are your future plans? Because he was doing masters in Manipal, MIT. So he said, I'm like, like he was able to finish his, he was just finishing with his studies like masters, and he was like, I'm sitting for 2 3 interviews. So he also interviewed. He got placed like something in Mercedes, and then he was like, I have a great chance in Mercedes also. I was like, oh, great, fantastic. But I felt, Sujay, I think uh, so it's during the lockdown. So I was at home. So I said, Sujay, you really want to go for the job? Because he always he used to tell us, no, I don't want to do a job. So he said, no, I was thinking, but because no one was there, so I was thinking to get a job. So I said, Sujay, as I am also back home, and I also feel like it's not the job is not exciting me much more, so I'm quitting the job. So are you also will be with me to, like, let's start the job, like, sorry, let's start the business, I asked him. So are you willing to start the business at this point of time? Let's start with the startup. Why? Like, at one of the point of time we'll have to start, so why not now? So he said, let's find, yeah, it's fantastic, let's, why not? So he said, I'm coming. He was in Gujarat at that time. He was doing his internship. The last some he was finishing up with his internship. So I said, yes, of course. So he said, I am coming next month. So we'll sit together and we'll start. I said, okay, fantastic. So we sat together and we came up with an idea, like, farmers are the people who are not get paid that much with, like, what they actually wants to get paid. So I can't disclose the exact idea what our product is because it's under development phase. So it's basically, a mixture of solar system related and vertical farming. It's for hydroponics, so it's related to that. But at the same time, we wanted to generate money till we are into the market with our actual idea. So we started under the name Carbony. We started providing services like developing apps, developing websites, then designing of the machines. So at present, we are doing that. So designing of the machines, IoT based, any projects, then making PCBs, designing PCBs. So like that. So that brings money for to in our company in at that moment at this moment of time, and also that gives us money to use that money for the R&D purpose of our main idea, which is the related to hydroponics and the that solar system and everything. So I would say one advice from my side to all of you, it's a great initiative that, like, because you have some great idea, so that's why you joined this group. So I would say you don't have to be a topper in your class, nor you have to understand those subjects or something. You felt it's like, I also was a normal student. Now I take care of the all you say the business meetings, all the marketing stat stuff, and all of the company I take care of. And Sujay takes care of all the technical. So he's very good at technology, so technical stuff. So he has interest in doing technical stuff. So that's why he's doing that. Most importantly, you should have faith on yourself and on your idea that you will bring a great product and you will solve some problem of the community and of the people. I'll say don't run after the money. Try to solve the problem of the people, of the normal people. That will bring you the money. To start any type of a business, it's never late. So you say, array, the many competitors are already there. Every competitor will have some of drawbacks, failure. So try to solve them and bring in your. Second most important part is the support from your parents. So if you are able to convince your parents that yes, you are doing something great and you will be bringing something a good product in future, so that's it. If you don't have if you don't have like not if you don't have support from parents, it's a very difficult task to coordinate, because after all they are parents. They will feel because if you are an entrepreneur, if you are starting with your business, it will take minimum of 2-3 years to get well settled. So we are just now 6 months year old, so we are generating very less amount of income. So that's it, because our family is like understandable and they understand us and they are quite supportive. By the grace of God, I thank God that I got such parents. So you should convince your parents first that no, you are doing something great and that will do something wonders in future. If you are not getting money at this point of time at starting, you will start generating money after some time. Do a research. Start doing research of like what are the problems faced by the problem what are the problems faced by the normal people nowadays, and how they want those problems to be solved. Try to give the solutions to them. See, because most of the startup fails because they don't do proper research. So do the proper research first and then start acting on it. So see if your idea is really is a need of an hour, if your idea can really solve a problem, and how the people are how the people will accept it. Just go take a questionnaire and go and ask, or like float on WhatsApp or anything, to try to understand the psychology of the people, how they will be accepting your product and how it is. So that's it from my side. Thank you very much. If you want any help from me, you can contact any of the teachers. If you want to understand, if you want to know anything from my side, I'll be always there to help you. My numbers will be available from any of the etc. So you can take and ping me if I'm busy at that point of time. You can ping me on WhatsApp so that I'll get back to you when I'm free. So best of luck for your.
Yeah, so that was Raki Sambadi from ATC department. How he nicely explained his journey in college and how he did his masters, and then he came up with an solution to a problem which has been faced in the society. So thank you, Rakib. I know you are not present with us live, but you've given a valuable input to all the students, and all the students would have taken the inputs. So just a note, if you all have any questions, students, if you all have any questions, you all can just post it in the chat, except for Rakib, because Rakib is not present right now, but you can still post it. If any other entrepreneur can address your answer, we'll address it at the end of the session, okay, at the end of all 4 speakers, okay. So moving forward, we have Mr. Shwetang Nadkarni from Civil Department, okay. So I would like to introduce Shwetang. So I would like Shwetang to come, if you can open your video and just resume so that we can have a chat. Yeah, Shwetang, yes.
Visible?
Yes, visible, Shwetang, yes. Shwetang has done B from Civil Engineering from Don Bosco College of Engineering, passed out recently in 2019. He is the owner of Trends and Risers firm established in 2019. His first project is reconstruction of Kasturba Matosri High School, Penji, which he started in January 2020. It is a ground plus 2 project scheduled to be completed in June 2021. He also has a bungalow restoration project in Honda and landscape project at Bethoda Industrial Estate. So welcome, Shwetang. It's very nice to have you live on board with us to address us and our students. So I would like to ask you, the first question is, as you are a civil department, civil student, what came in your mind that you wanted to start something of your own? Because I think your parents are also into the same line, or you could have easily taken up a job in under someone. So what came in your mind which motivated you to become an entrepreneur?
First of all, good afternoon, Principal Ma'am, and all the ECEL professors and the students and everyone who has joined the meeting. Thank you for giving me my opportunity to share my experiences with you all. Had Corona not struck, maybe this would have happened in our hall and we would have been together without masks, enjoying. Anyways, we are without masks now. So I'll start off with the question. See, after working hard in 11th and 12th standard, I got into civil and I felt like everything was accomplished. It happens to every student. So after that, I enjoyed my first year, enjoyed my second year. When I came close to graduation, things started moving in my head. Like what to do next now, whether I should go for a job or further studies or what. So that is the time when you should keep calm, sit down and introspect. So that is what I did. And after introspection, I came to know that job is not meant for me. Job is not meant for me because I'm a person who likes to lead. I like to work in my own style. And other thing is, either it's better to work hard for our own self and grow a company rather than working hard for someone else. And it takes time for growth. So that is the thing that I thought. After that, as you said, I'm into civil. So there are many fields that are open to us. See, there is trading, there is manufacturing of products, there is designing, there is planning, there is construction. So that was a time where I had to think, Papa, what do I need? Should I go for construction? Should I go for this? As you said, my father, my grandfather, my uncle, my auntie, all of them are civil engineers. And all of them, we have a firm. But if I wanted, I could join them. But then it would be like I would get everything directly in my plate, which I didn't want. Wanted to choose my own ingredients, make my own meal, wanted to feel how it feels to make a meal. So that is when I spoke to many of the faculty members. My frequent interactions were with Satyesh sir. So, and all of them were very kind enough to guide me. So then when I was, I think in the 8th semester, I took a call that I would go for a construction firm. So that is when Threads and Risers, right after graduation, I worked with my father, my grandfather and my uncle. And under the umbrella, I learned a lot. And I think after 2 months, I took a call that I'll start with my own firm, and then I got Threads and Risers registered in September 2019. So that is
Yeah.
how the Threads and Risers came to birth.
Yeah. Okay. What made you keep this name of the company? Is there anything behind this name?
There is a name. Actually, I was looking for a very typical name, like maybe Nadkarni and Associates, because our parent company is Kevin Nadkarni and Associates. So I was looking for something like Shwetang Nadkarni and Associates maybe. But then after that, I thought Threads and Risers, because Threads and Risers in civil it means steps, staircase. Thread is the place where you keep your foot, and the riser is the riser. So I thought of keeping Threads and Risers because you have to climb to get to a height. So that's why I said Threads and Risers. So let me climb to the height.
Definitely, Shweta. You'll definitely climb to heights. Moving on to my next question. This is something different. What I want to ask you. Any role model you have in your life, whom you try to follow or whom you try to imitate, or not in your field, any other field? Have you have any role model?
See, my role models would be my father and my uncle. Because I've seen. See, my father always tells me that never be ashamed of doing small jobs. Even my uncle tells me the same, because both of them have started from zero. And I've seen my father when I was small. I've seen my father carrying cement bags on his bike. And my uncle also. My uncle has a chemical trading firm, so I've seen him also unloading barrels when there are no laborers. So I have tried to follow their footsteps, and I do the same when laborers are not there on site. Sometimes I have to do the simplest of jobs, which I enjoy. But I think this week only I had shared a photo on social media where I was curing my columns because they were concreted one day before, and next day laborers didn't show up. So I had to take things in my hand. So I have tried to follow their steps.
Yeah, good. I just want to ask you, 5 years down the line, where do you want to see yourself?
See, 5 years down the line, all I want to do is I want to see another goal that I had set to start my firm was to reduce the burden on the government. I'll tell you how. When you start something in a country like us, people normally grumble that we don't have jobs, and it gives a lot of burden on the government. So what I did was, right now I've hired a couple of people directly, and indirectly I've given employment to many. So 5 years down the line, what I want to do is right now Threads and Risers is only construction. I want to start something into trading and expand my business, make it into group of businesses. And when I make it a group of businesses, there will be more employment created. And when you employ one person, it doesn't mean you're just taking care of one person. It means you're taking care of an entire family. Because that person, when you're paying him, he eventually goes and he takes care of his family. So I want to create more employment. And even I want our college students to join me. A few of them have already approached me for internship. So I want them to join me. I want them to learn with me. But another thing is that I'll be happy to do this. But another thing is that I don't want them to stay with me. I want them to leave and start something of their own, so that they create more employment.
Yeah, very nice idea of creating. That's a very good major part you are taking care. It's not, if you have just one employee, doesn't mean that you are taking care of that one employee. You are taking care of the entire family. Very good. This is a technical question. What services and products do you offer? Like in civil, you told you have many things. So at present now, what are you offering?
See, right, our firm is mainly into construction, full-fledged construction of a building. So right now, as you said, Kasturba Matushri, that is my first project. That is a G+2 project started in January. If you don't mind, can I just show you the photo? I have it in the site.
Sure. Go ahead.
See, this, I have it on the magazine. Is it clear? This is how the school is going to look after next year. Is it clear? So you can just Google the previous, how the school used to look. So this is my first project. Another one is restoration of a bungalow that is going on in Ponda. That is almost done. Another 10 days, maybe 10 to 15 days. And landscaping in an industrial estate in Ponda. So basically, we take up everything related to building constructions, but our expertise is into full-fledged construction.
Okay, nice. So meet me sometimes in Ponda. I stay in Ponda only. Your two projects are going on right now in Ponda.
I have frequent visits in Ponda. I'll meet you.
Okay, sure. So I would like to ask you one last question. What piece of advice do you want to give to our students right now who are in the first year and we are molding them to become an entrepreneur?
See, I would like to give two advices. One will be specially for my civil students, since I'm in the field, and one will be in general. So for the civil students, my advice will be, see, when you step out in the real world, do not expect to do white collar jobs directly. You'll have to struggle, you'll have to toil in the soil. So you'll have to deal with different sections of the society, that is laborers, whose mentality is very low, very lower than yours. So you should know how to adjust with them. Also fitters, skilled laborers, and who not, you have to learn from them. Another thing is that never let your ego come in between, because those skilled laborers, I'm talking about the skilled laborers, they have been working for so many years and they have knowledge from them. Nobody comes with all the knowledge in the world. Everyone is a beginner. So respect them and learn from them how a bar is bent or how concrete is poured. You should know how what are the difficulties that they face. So you should know how to respect them. At the same time, do not surrender yourself to them. Do not give your control in their hand. Sometimes they tell you, do this, do that, to make their things easy. But when you know that the things are not right, you should be firm enough and get your things done. That is the advice I would like to give to my civil students. In general, to every student, I would like to do that, be honest to your work. Whether you want to be an entrepreneur or no, be honest and give your 100%, you will definitely succeed. Also, another thing is that whether you're doing a job, treat it as if it's your own business. There's no need. See, I have a few employees who their timing is 9 to 5. They just wait for 5 o'clock. Even if their work is not complete, they leave at 5. If that is your attitude, you're not meant for entrepreneurship. You should be ready to work even after 5. Work hard. That should be the motto. I just want to share one small experience. Can I, sir?
Sure. Go ahead.
This what I have written down this so that I just don't miss anything. See, this year due to our
very important. Vedant, this list is very important. Yes,
sorry, ma'am, I couldn't hear you.
Yes, it's very important for us to know what you have written. Carry on.
Yes. I'll share the experience with you. See, this year due to the lockdown, we lost our peak months of construction, that is April and May. So in our side only, Kasturba, we had a big raft to be concreted. And the raft was a base of a sump tank. Understood? It was an underground tank with the raft. So excavation was a lot. The pit that we had excavated was almost 8.5 by 6.5 by 3.5 meters deep. So that is like an entire room, a classroom almost. So unfortunately, what happened was half the steel of the raft was tied. And unfortunately, what happened was the monsoon arrived early this year. So when the monsoon arrived early this year, 3.5 meters, you can imagine the height. So all the sides collapsed. When the sides collapsed, all the mud was inside and the steel was almost buried and all the laborers came out. And our concrete, and because of the shortage of labor, we concrete our footings and everything by RMC, ready mix concrete. So I remember the date 7th of June was the date given to us. And that was the only date, 7th of June. After that, we had to wait for another 15 days. And this happened, I think in 30th of May or something, just one day before June. So the laborers were scared to go down because we had to get the mud out. Otherwise, we couldn't carry out the work. So there were sleepless nights that time. But luckily, I came across this man from the market, in Panjim market only. He was daring enough. He said, okay, I'll put my laborers inside. Everything I'll get it cleared for you. But he charged us a lot in cash, that too. But we said, okay, we had no other option. We said, okay, you take the cash, you just get the work done. So on 6th of June, that was one day before our concrete, 6th of June, I think in the evening, 6 p.m. or 7 p.m., we finished the work. Removing the mud, only removing the mud. Nothing else was done. And next day at 1 p.m., 7th of June, 1 p.m., our concrete was fixed. So what I had to do was that night was sleepless. I think I didn't sleep only. And our fitters, they stay in Arpora. Arpora is, I think, around 15 kilometers away from Panjim. So next day, I remember 4:30 in the morning, I woke up, I went with my car, I got those fitters in the morning, and I started with lights and all. We started tying the steel at 6 a.m. It was a big raft, huge raft. So a lot of work was supposed to be done. So there was a lot of pressure. So we got the steel tied, and that's the only we concreted at 1 p.m. So that was the most difficult situation that I have been till now. And had that day gone, then I think 6 months my work would have stopped. I would have been back at home these days. So my intention of telling this is that nothing in life comes easy. You have to struggle. There will be difficult times. So you have to know how to get over it. And when you graduate, you have nothing to lose actually. I feel it is worth, if your parents are supporting you, and you have the determination, then I think it is worth to take the risk to work hard and start something of your own, because you have nothing to lose, you have only something to gain, because you're still young. If you lose, you might lose 1 to 2 years, but people, you remember, people are unemployed when they are 30 to 35 also. So you're still in your 20s, you have a lot of time, you should struggle, you should take the chance. And also, when I approach many consultants and architects, I have also approached ma'am Nina Panandika's husband, Mr. Shekhar Panandikar, and they are very happy, they have a very positive approach towards us. I've approached Abhay Kukarkar, consultant. I've approached architect Kundan Prabhu, architect Rahul Deshpande, and they are very happy towards us. So they want to work with new people, because they feel that because of the age factor, we are more capable of doing it. So I think it is worth to take up this. And when you see your business grow this way, there is nothing better feeling than this. See, when I started in January, there were many days where I felt like giving up. I felt like not working, but then you have to push yourself. You have to push yourself. You cannot do anything. But when now I'm seeing my project coming up, one of my project in Ponda is almost ready. This Kasturba project will be ready in another 8 months. So when you see it, the happiness that you feel is very. I cannot explain how you feel. You have to feel it on your own.
Yes, Shweta, it was a very nice experience, and the motive behind telling this experience were really nice. I have seen your leadership skill in college, no doubt about it. So you will definitely grow. And the most important thing which we need to take from your session is honesty and hard work towards the work which you're doing. You need to like your work, then only you will be able to succeed in it. So Shweta, it was a very, very nice session with you, and thank you very much personally for in your busy schedule taking time for our students who are budding to be an entrepreneur and guiding them in the most possible way. So I just thank you on behalf of management of college, ECEL, all the faculty members and all the students. If Nina ma'am wants to add something, ma'am, you can go ahead.
Thank you, Professor Ame Tilve. You are also doing excellently well in coordinating this event. Thanks, Shwetan, for joining us. I'm very proud of you, and I would also like to say that whatever you have just informed the students, I will brief them at the end, the takeaways which are very important for the students who want to become entrepreneurs ahead. Thank you, Shwetan, for joining us.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Shweta, and also thank you, Satish sir, for coordinating with you, and thanks a lot. Thank you.
Thank you, Amen, Shwetang. Thank you.
Next, we have with us our next speaker from mechanical department. So we have Mr. Deepak Kollur. So if Deepak can, yeah. So Deepak is there with here. So I'll just read out the profile of Deepak. So Deepak is B in mechanical from Don Bosco College of Engineering in 2018. We should notice something over here. All our entrepreneurs which are there today have passed out in 2017, 2018, 2019. They are just, and they are doing perfectly well in whatever they are doing right now. Okay, so he has done B in mechanical from Don Bosco College of Engineering. He is a founder of K2 Engineering at Ponda. Again, I found one more guy from Ponda. So currently stated a new company called as Techno Wheels Private Limited that deals with manufacturing of electric vehicles like electric rickshaw, electrical wheelchair and industrial automation. And he's also associated with our FIRE. As all of you all know, we have an incubation center over here, FIRE. He's developing a UV sanitizer, automatic UV sanitizer in collaboration with FIRE. So welcome Deepak, and thank you very much first of all for spending your time for our students. So, as usual, I'll start with the first question. What motivated you to become an entrepreneur?
Good afternoon, all. Good afternoon, ma'am and professors, and thanks for inviting me for the inauguration of our ECEL event. So, coming to the question, so basically, I started with the one difficult project at the final year, which was a electric wheelchair. So going through that, I feel like a sustainable energy was important here and provide with a low cost. So that gives me a motive to work and start with a new form. To provide local people a sustainable and one low cost product to them.
Deepak, I want to ask you one thing. Are you into the production of this electrical rickshaws, electrical wheels, or you deal with the auto made product and you do the sale part of it?
No, sir. We will be the one of the manufacturer of the complete e-rickshaw, which will be in Goa. I mean, manufactured in Goa only. So currently, we are not yet started with the rickshaw, but the wheelchair has been started and the industrial project has been started.
Okay, one technical question. How do you approach now to make a wheelchair? Okay, now you might have, the idea might have come in your mind. Okay, the major catch in your was you wanted to do something with renewable sources. Okay, so now major thing is like you need to buy some products, like small product to make a complete bigger product. So how did you go about it? Like how do you find out the dealers for those products? How did you started with all these things?
At starting moments, we didn't went for the vendors means selection from the other parts. So we personally made the small parts in the lathe and the CNC machines. First, at the B project, I got a chance to work with the DVC workshop. So I was to make from them. And after that, I started, means I got some vendors in Honda and Penjim where they used to make me a small parts, and I was also working with that. So means manually made single parts of that.
Okay, that's very nice. Any difficulties you faced while coming up with this journey of your now almost 1 and more years you are into this. So, what difficulties do you face? I just want to ask you in general.
This is like basically a wheelchair is electrical and in which a human is involved, means disabled people they are here. So taking the care of the project was very much difficult, and if you want to bring that in the market, so you need lot of permissions required. So that take a lot of difficult. That is very much difficult.
Okay.
So to meet their requirements is very tough.
Yeah, definitely. I just want to ask you, government of Goa is also providing, government of Goa and central government is also providing a lot of fund towards the startup. So have you availed any of those funds or something like that?
Still not, but we have approached the Goa State Innovation Council.
Okay, 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 fine. Again, the same question which I asked Shwetang, I would like to repeat. Where do you want to see yourself in the next 5 years? What is the goal of your company? Ultimate goal, I want to ask.
The goal is we are not still manufacturing the electric vehicles in Goa, so I want to full-fledged manufacture the electric vehicles, which will be make in Goa, means make in India. So presently, what we have got is in India they bring the parts and assemble here and provide this. So we want to make some make in India products of electric vehicles.
Great, Deepak. You are the field in which you are working is a need of hour. We have been polluting and doing all sorts of things using the oils and the petrol, diesel, all those things. And in the next 20 years, we will have definitely something which with all electrical vehicles, and it will be a revolution. Okay. One last set of questions which I want to ask you. A piece of advice to our students. What do you want to tell our first year students? They are first year just entered our institute and they are going to become an entrepreneur.
As students are from first year, so my request is them to they should participate in as much as event they can at this moment, and at the same time they should concentrate on the academics. So here, if you participate in the event as much as so your skill development, so you will know what are your qualities at the end of the final year. So you can take a decision after that.
Yeah, Deepak, what do you feel about the risk factor? Is there any risk when you want to go for an entrepreneurship, you want to start something? One point which both our speakers have already told is the support which is required from the parents. If you have the support, that's the most important part. Any other risk that you feel is there, or any risk that you have encountered and you have taken that risk and then you have gone forward?
Yes, definitely the parents' consideration is most important here, sir. So if your parents are more supportive, then it's become little bit easy. And if means against the parents, like they didn't like your ideation or taking forward. So the same case was with me. So I started with a company called as a Polynova Industries. Since as I completed my degree, I joined the company after 2 months, and I was working there. So means some sort of income is coming at home. So they were not behind me to do some. I mean, not means restricting me to do my work. So I was working there also, and same time I started with small fabrication in which you get a low risk, like a small project of 40-50,000. So you get their income also, and it's not that much risky to take the work. So I started with like that, and from there the K2 engineering was born. After starting this project, after 2 months I got like one big deal in the company United Breweries. So we are the third party in the company. So all manufacturing of SS, MS, and aluminum they outsource. They outsource from us like K2 engineering. So you get once you take a small risk, so it's become means you are know how to manage the things. And
Yeah.
same.
Deepak, it's like I have heard now from my previous two, and something which we need to take away from this. I think Rakib and you also started working in the firm, and then you started coming up with an startup. And Shwetang had made his mind previously that he, after engineering, because he had done a lot of survey before, that he is going to go into the same firm. So this is a takeaway from your, like initially when there is a funding problem. I am not asking question about funding and all, because all our students are first years, so they don't need to worry about the funding part, which will be told to them. But it's so nice of you, Deepak, to share your valuable time for our students. Okay, we have started a unique initiative of audit course and training our students to mold them into entrepreneurs, to make them entrepreneurs. So they have to take a lot of things from you. A big thank you from the whole management, principal, our director, ECEL, faculty coordinators, the members of ECEL, and all our fellow students. Okay, so thanks a lot, Deepak. Thank you very much. Be in the session. So if there are any question, we can take it at the end of the session. Thank you, Deepak.
Sure, sir. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
So now we have my own student from computer department, Mr. Anup Kotambikar. So if Anup is there, yeah, Anup, yeah. Welcome to this session. Thank you. First of all, I'll say thank you for sharing your time with us. So I'll just read out bio of Anup Kotambikar. BE in computer from Don Bosco College of Engineering, 2017. He's the founder of Secure DevOps and principal associate analyst of Secure Sys Technologies Private Limited in 2020. I think out of all the companies, Anup's company is very, they have started it recently. Okay, so Anup will tell more about it. And he also has 3 years of experience as a security analyst at North State Tech Solution. I welcome Anup, first of all, to the session. I was in contact with Anup. In between, we were not able to contact because some other things were going on. But the moment I heard that Anup has started something of his own, I heard it from our HOD, Mr. Dr. Gaurang Patnar. So I thought like I will call him only for this particular session. So welcome Anup. I will just like to put the first question to you. Like, what made, again, you are from the industry who have worked for 3 years, and then you thought like, okay, let me do something of your own. Okay, so what made you feel that? What made you start your own entrepreneurship?
First of all, am I audible?
Yes, Anup, you're audible. Yes.
Yeah. So first of all, I would like to thank everyone, principal and the ECEL council for inviting me over here. It's been a pleasure, and I miss my college days. And looking this events, I really miss those days. So answering your question, I had this business background. My father actually runs a food stall in evening, and around 12 years I am helping out in his business. Like morning I was doing my college, and evening I was helping my father in his business. So I had around 12 hours of experience in business, like uh, what are the benefits of it, how to handle clients and everything. So from there, I had in mind that I will start something of my own, because I want this work-life balance. I have my dreams. Like I love motorcycle riding, and if I take up a job, it doesn't align with this. I can't plan my vacation. That's the different story. So yeah, I had this in mind, and during my college days, we discussed, a couple of my friends. We get together, we discuss what we can do, like how we can start. But we thought of many ideas, but nothing clicked. We wanted to do something different, but things were not in our favor, and I had to take a job, and I got placed in Nostate Technology Solutions. It was a networking company, and it has also had a information security team. So I was selected in the information security team. So first, this was totally different for me. uh, I had never heard of it, and I didn't have any idea about how the security team works. So when I entered, I worked there around 3 years. I got full idea how the business works, how we have to support our clients. So I got all the business ideas. I did my analytics, and after 3 years of working, me and my ex-colleague, Myron Estevero, we thought of starting our own firm and targeting the local businesses. And we submitted our papers, and we started a firm. So we started in September 19 September 2020. So hardly 2 months. So it's a young company. We are still learning. So there are many glitches coming on the way. So we are facing it.
Anup, I want to ask you one more question. Now, when you say you are into security and networking, basically networking and security, so you took a risk of starting your own firm. So what about the clients? Did you had clients with you, or you had to make fresh clients or something like that? I just need to hear something about it.
So when we were working in Nostate, our team in Goa was we had members in our team who were 15 years experience, and we had a good reputation amongst our team. So in the US side, we had a good we were in good terms with them. So all the C-level executives, they were in good favor of us. So it was not difficult for us to get the clients from the basically we have clients based from the US. So it was not that difficult for us to get the clients.
Okay, so now when I look at you, I think you have done your office at your home only, if I'm not wrong, right?
Yeah, yeah, that's the advantage of computer engineer. I have my home office. We work from home.
Yeah. So my wish is that may you grow bigger and take a office on a lease somewhere in any part, whichever you like. So going to the next question, do you have any role model behind your success, or do you follow anyone, like anything like that?
Yeah, my main thing in life is I want to live simple. Okay, if I may be earning more, but I want to live a simple life, and I follow Dr. Abdul Kalam. His life, it interests me very much. He had an ocean of knowledge with him, but he was a simple guy. I like this thing about him.
Yeah, I know Anup, as a student, I know that you are a very simple and a very honest person. So may you continue with this nature, which will help you in your business endeavor. So anywhere you would like to see yourself in 5 years, growth of your company, anything with respect to that?
Yeah, so what happened is when we started, when I got the job, I was placed in a certain situation, like I didn't knew a single bit of security, like what the industry needs. So I thought, like if we take this knowledge and share with the students, then it will be very helpful for them to get the like get the perspective of how the industry works in a security context, and like it will help them to think about this as a career, and secondly they can apply this in their life, because security on the internet is very mass nowadays. Everything is turning going live, like we are having this meeting virtually, so everything is going virtual. We have IoT devices, so it is very important to share this awareness within the community about the security. So our main focus is to go in the colleges, conduct boot camps, conduct seminars to educate people or students about this, what we are doing, and share this knowledge. We also planning of going to the different companies and conducting the seminars, the how you should be secure on the internet, because if you click one long link, then it may harm entire company. So that's the risk. So we want to share this knowledge. Secondly, we also provide consultancy to different businesses. So what happens is, in a business, to be a business compliant, you should have a security team with you. And if you look up in the small companies, they don't have enough budget to do this. So our goal is to provide services at lower cost for this, and to target the local companies.
That's great, Anu. You are doing really well. All of you all are doing really well, and you will definitely succeed. Two things I would like to tell you over here. You are always welcome in our college. You are our students, so always welcome to do any type of awareness. And second, very selfish question with respect to as an assistant professor. How many students you are going to place from our college as you grow?
Placing is we have interviews lined up. I have shared the profiles with TPO and Gaurang Patkar sir, and I'm waiting for the replies.
Good. So we will definitely reply you. I have also forwarded it to all my students, so they will also reply to you. Any experience of you would like to share? Any experience that you had which made you think sometime like, okay, no, I should not go for this, or you were in two minds whether I should go or I should not go? What will be the risk? Should I take the risk or should I not take the risk? In that situation, who helped you the most to come out of that situation?
Okay, so frankly, the Goa team at Nosted, they helped me a lot with my career decisions. At a point, I was confused, like whether I want to go in this field or I want to do something else. I was very much confused, and they helped me a lot. I took the risk. Actually, me and my colleague, we both took the risk and took this decision, like we'll move out and we'll do something of our own. We had this in our mind, like we'll provide trainings on everything, but we wanted some other services as well. We didn't wanted to provide only the trainings, but we wanted like to go in companies, provide consultancy, network designing. So those are the things. So risk, if you consider risk, there is a risk in everything. But it is as a computer student, the risk is very minimal for us. Like we don't have to spend so much. Like I have my office in my home itself. I don't have to spend much on. I have this laptop, so we can work. So I think computer students mostly there is no much investment, and I think you should think of starting something of your own.
Anup, as we are running out of the time, last one question to you. What piece of advice you would like to give to our students in general?
Yeah, sure. So if you, there's first year students, right?
Yes, all are first year students.
Yeah, so they have a couple of time. So if you are entrepreneur or if you are going to thinking about a job, first thing is, in both cases, you have to work. Okay, so in order to work, you need to think like what interests you. So now you have these 4 years. You have to think, like decide like what you want, what interests you. If you think of a computer engineering, there are programming, marketing, and if you go in networking, network security, there are many fields. The computer engineering department is a vast. Okay, so you need to decide what you want to go for. It is always better to be expert in a specific field rather than knowing bits and pieces of everything. So first of all, make up your mind what your interests are, because once you take up a job or you start a business, there you are wasting your time. So now you have 4 years. Take up projects, like small projects you do, try it in different technologies, take up internship. If you We have various when I was in college, we had various people attending our college giving seminars. So attend those seminars, get get a perspective of how the computer engineering is, how what are the different departments in it, and make up your mind in this, because once you take up a job, it will be very difficult. You have your family burden. Okay, if you happen to be get a good salary, good package, then it will be very difficult for you to change the trade if you are thinking after changing. So this is very important for you. So that's all. If you need any help, I'm always available.
Yes.
Please continue.
Yes. Anup, thank you very much for sharing your valuable time. Okay. So when I first shared this experience with Anup, he was telling me, sir, we are just 2 months old. I don't think, sir, I'm a right person to address this. But no, Anup, you're doing a really great job. Okay. And as you said, I would just like to point out one thing. Interest is very important to all of you all. Every speaker has told that interest. If you don't have interest in what you're doing, you are not going to succeed, first of all, and you are not going to keep your mind over there to make it a grand success. Okay, so thanks Anup, thanks a lot for being with us. Okay, it makes a great difference. I think people might have taken a lot of inputs from all the speakers. Okay, so thanks a lot, Anup. Now I would like to open yes, thanks a lot. Now I would like to open this forum for students. I'm giving you 5 minutes, students, if you have any question. Okay, Rutvik Vaze had a question. So Rutvik Vaze, you can unmute your mic and you can ask the question to all our panelists. Okay, so it's open to all. I think he is already posted the question. Okay, so Anup, should I read out for you? It's in the chat.
Yes, please.
So he's saying that, hello sir, I'm interested in pursuing career in cyber security as a cryptographer and cyber forensic as expertise. My question is that how the things you learned at the job help you to start your own company, and also want to know that is it good to start a company directly after graduation or get a job? Anup, and please share your views about certification available in market like CEH, OSCP, and CISSP.
Yeah, Rutvik, you have done a great job. You at least know there are the name of the certification. That is very nice. Yeah. So what my advice would be, currently, if we compare our syllabus with what is going in the industry, it is the syllabus doesn't cover that much. So I would highly recommend you to take up a job first. Learn what is there in the industry. There are various tools. Like if you think in terms of forensic expert, you will understand that when you take up a job, and then you will be in a better position to support your clients, because client success is very important. If you don't have experience, then first of all you will not get enough clients. Okay, so in our field, what is required is the experience. Okay, so I will highly recommend you to start a job. Okay, and talking about the certifications, the CISSP, you need at least 5 years of experience for CISSP, and you can take up CEH actually. OSCP is the next level. CEH is a good start for you. So you can take up the courses on Udemy. There are multiple courses available there. You can test it out, set up a lab in your home, and it would be a nice start. Yeah. And you can always contact me if you have any doubts.
Yes, I think that answers Rutvik's question. Students, if you have any question, please post it over here. I have a question to Shwetang. Is Shwetang there? Shwetang Nadkarni, are you there?
Yeah.
Shwetang, I just want to ask you, out of my curiosity, how do you have many laborers working under you, right? You have a big team to handle. So what about the financial part? Who takes care of the financial part of your projects and all those things?
See, first of all, we do not keep laborers directly under us. What we do is we hire a labor contractor who supplies labors to us. Okay, so we give them everything on measurement. So this square meter, if I tell them plaster, so they'll plaster this square meter for this rate. And normally when we start so salaries to be paid are only for 2 to 3 people. That is around 30,000 per month, whatever, 10,000. Laborers we do not pay directly. We do not keep laborers under us. And when you go to start any project, what we do is we take something called as mobilization advance. That is 5 lakhs, which is given to us. It differs from project to project. For this first project is 5 lakhs they give to us in the beginning before you even raise a bill. So you have to just use your management skills and then utilize the funds properly, and that is it. That is not much. And then banks are always there. Even I have taken a loan from a bank. So then you have to just manage your funds. That is it. I have not taken anything from my. Everything is from the bank and from the client. Nothing else is put of my own.
That's great, Shwetang. That's great. Do you find any difficulties with respect to the materials that you bring? It may be sand or anything, bricks or something like that.
Sand and laterite stone, those are the materials which are a bit difficult to get. But anyways, now sand, there is a replacement for sand. That is M sand, manufactured sand. So a concrete part is taken care by the manufactured sand, but plaster cannot be done with it. So for that, it's a bit tough. But now even things are improving. Sand is also available now.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much, Shwetang. So I had these questions for Shwetang. So if anybody has any questions to all 3 speakers, they please put it on. You can unmute your mic, you can unmute your video and ask the questions directly to the speakers. Otherwise, we'll come to the end of this session. So meanwhile, I will request Nina ma'am if you would like to make a comment of all our 4 speakers, if ma'am is available.
Yes, Professor Amey Tilve. I would like to say that usually it is other way around, wherein teachers teach the students. But from today's session, I should say that I have learned lots from my students, and I really would like to thank Rakib, Anup, Shwetang, and Deepak for sharing their success stories with us and with our aspiring budding entrepreneurs. I would like to just wind up this session with these takeaways. Whatever I learned from all the 4 students, our alumni, that there is no shortcut to success. The very important point, there is no shortcut to success. Second important point is do not worry about failure. Face it. Third important point is you need to take risk if you want to succeed. Fourth important point, what I learned today from them is you have to have good communication skills. Last but not the least, you need to work hard and work hard with commitment, and very important, believe in yourself. So I feel these are the golden rules we all should follow, especially those who want to become entrepreneurs ahead. I would really like to thank our ECEL team for these wonderful sessions, and I would like to convey my best wishes to all the ECEL members who have joined and to undergo this course, entrepreneurship course. Thank you, Anup. Thank you, Deepak, Rakib and Shwetang. We got to learn a lot of things from you. And Anup, I can see you nicely sitting on a nice executive chair. God bless.
Thank you, ma'am.
Everyone.
Thank you, ma'am, for your input to the students and also for our speakers. I would like to thank once again to all the speakers who have taken their time and they have joined us to guide our students. We will definitely be in touch of you, and we will have a lot more sessions for our students, not only as a whole team, but also for different departments. So I would like to thank you all once again, okay, for sharing your experience. May you all get the best in your life, okay, and you succeed. And whatever aims you have told me that you need to achieve 5 years down the line, 10 years down the line, may you achieve more than what you have told us, okay. So thank you.
of all the students and all the speakers for today, along with the team. Can we have a picture?
Yes, if all the students, ma'am, before that we'll have a vote of thanks. Avila ma'am will be giving. So I hand over the session now to Avila ma'am to propose the vote of thanks, and then we'll have a photograph. So I request all of you all to put on the video so that we can have a snapshot. We cannot take an actual real photograph like how we used to take in college, but at least take a snapshot. Yes, ma'am, Avila ma'am. Avila ma'am.
Am I audible? Am
Yes,
I
ma'am.
audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Am I visible? Am I
Yes, yes.
visible? Okay, fine.
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Okay. Well, I would like to place on record the immense work and responsibilities shouldered by my ECEL team. Satesh Kakodkar, Manjunath Narvate, Matilda Lasso, Amay Tilve, and Dr. Shreya Singh. Thank you for all that you do, and I know very well that we are going to take up this initiative and we will really do wonders. Special thanks to Director Father Kilvite Cruz for his support and blessings in our endeavors. The ECEL appreciates the guidance and motivation provided by our principal, Dr. Neena Panandikar. Ma'am, thank you very much for the support that you give us at every point of time, and it really means a lot. I appreciate the time and inputs by our alumni entrepreneurs, Shwetang Nadkarni, Deepak Konur, Rakib Sarmadi, and Anup Kotambikar. We wish you all the best in your enterprise and may success follow you everywhere. In fact, we were just thinking how to go about with our installation ceremony, and now it is online or virtual. So all of us decided that rather than getting a well-known speaker, entrepreneur, we'll invite our own students, own alumni entrepreneurs who are really doing well. And that is how this entire event happened. And thank you very much for accepting our invitation. And not to forget my ECEL student members, thank you all for the interest you've shown in becoming members of ECEL. And we are sure that our journey will be a promising and valuable one. Thank you, Raylan, Jason, Ruthvik, and Aditya for accepting the role and responsibilities of student coordinators. And this is not the end of the event, but it's a beginning of your journey as an entrepreneur. So thank you once again and have a nice day.
Thank you, ma'am, for proposing the vote of thanks. So before we just end our session, I request all the students and faculty coordinators, members to please put on their cameras so that we can take a snapshot. I request the students.
Our registrar, Dr. Kala, is also with me here.
Yes, ma'am. I just saw. Welcome, ma'am, and thank you for joining the session. Anybody?
Videos on.
Yeah, please put on for students. Please put on your videos. Yeah, there are few students who have put. I request students to put on. Yeah. I request all the students to put on their video for just few seconds so that we can take a snap. Yes, I think we are good to take a snap. Yes. Yeah, thank you everyone for just being there here for this session. Our speakers, principal, registrar, our director, Father Kinley Cruz, for always supporting us. All the speakers, all 4 speakers, and all the student coordinators and the students of ECEL, members of ECEL. We have a lot to go in our future journey. We'll share the calendar of ECEL. Okay, what activities we have planned for this year for the first year student as well as the remaining students. May it be virtually or may it be physically. We'll conduct the sessions for you. And thanks for giving me an opportunity to host this event. I hope I have done justice to this event. Thank you.
Too good.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Absolutely, Amar. You have done a wonderful job. Wonderful job.
Thank you everyone. And before we end this session, I would also like to mention something about me. I was also an entrepreneur. I had a full-fledged company of computer hardware named as eSystem. Today also, if you go on Google and if you type eSystems, you will get the company names and company detail. My major client was Deltin, as you all know, Casino Deltin and the hotels. So he was my major client. But due to my high studies, I had left entrepreneurship and I came into completely different line, which I like the most. So on this note, I wish all our students to for a successful learning, okay, and all our speakers for their successful journey. That's all from my side. Thank you all. Be safe. Take care.
Thank you, Professor Sat, Professor Manjana, Professor Manjana.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.